Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I am Frank, and today I got something really cool here from Garmin. So as you know, I've been a long time Garmin user. I've used the Garmin Zumo XT for years, and now I'm using the Garmin Zumo XT and the XT2, depending on what bike I'm riding and what day it is, but I love the Garmin Zumo XT2. Well, Garmin sent me something. I'm not getting paid a dime for this. They just sent it to me to review. This is the Garmin Zumo R1 radar, which should be really cool. I want to install it on the Goldwing first and try it out, see if I like it. But it's a radar system that lets you know of oncoming traffic, and especially in your blind spots. So if a car is coming up behind you, it will let you know. Also, if a car is passing you, it will show the car that's passing you. Either way. But this is the Garmin Zumo R1 radar. Now, the cool part about this is you can use it standalone by itself, put it on there. It has two little indicator lights that will go on your handlebars or on the front of your bike so you can know left and right. And if somebody's coming up behind you, you can also connect it to your phone by the Garmin Zumo radar app. So that's pretty cool. If you have your phone mounted up there like I do anyway on a quad lock mount, then I can see the vehicles coming up behind me or passing me in my blind spot. So this should be super cool. Or you can actually connect it to your Garmin Zumo XT2, which will be cool too. So if you have a Garmin Zumo XT2, you'll be able to do just like your iPhone and actually see the cars as they come up behind you or passing you. Let's take this out of the box, check it out, and then we need to get it installed on the Honda Goldwing. Okay, so first off, let's take this out of the box. I have not opened this yet. There it is in the box, so you can see the rear radar unit. And these are actually smaller than I thought. This is the part that would go up on your right handlebar, left handlebar. Even says left and right. So we'll take all this out of here and lay it out. So the Garmin Zumo R1 radar comes with a license plate mount, cable ties, indicator brackets, and inline fuse, some rubber spacers, some adhesive mounts, a surface mount bracket, crimp style ring terminal connectors and a butt connector, a hex wrench and some screws, the rear radar system, and the front radar system indicators. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is remove my license plate. Yours may have different screws depending on the setup that you have. So this bracket here will go on the top or the bottom depending on how you want your setup and what motorcycle it's actually going on. So I'm trying to figure out on mine, where do I want it. I probably want it on the bottom because if I put it over here, it will cover up the Arizona part on the tag, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I got my plate mounted on here, and I did go ahead and put a couple pieces of adhesive here, here, and here on the back side between these two, so the plate will be stuck to the mount good and no vibration or rattling going on. Now we can just mount this on here. I wanted it to where this would be lower and not covering any of the letters, so I don't get in trouble by the police for covering up the letters. But that should work pretty good just like that. Okay, now we're mounted back on here nice and solid, and we can stick the radar unit on. We do have a couple of these Allen head bolts. They already have blue Loctite on them. Just want to get them started here. It does come with a provided Allen wrench for it. Got it nice and tight now. As far as this wire, we got to route it around here and up to the front of the bike. These here will go to the battery fuse box. I'm going to put one of the supplied zip ties right here, just to hold the wire right here, and then I'll clip it, and now I'll run my wire up to there. Okay, so as far as routing the wire, I did zip tie it here. I zip tied it to this bar under here. Now you probably won't have this bar if you don't have the hitch. I have the hitch installed on mine, but I zip tied to that bar, and then I ran it up through on this side of the bar of the hitch, and then I ran it out right through here there's a gap. Now this fender right here is plastic, and down below you may have to take a pry bar like I did and spread the plastic out a little bit so that big head of that connector will fit through there. Then you can run it up through here. And I taped it up so it would be tapered and connected it to a piece of stiff 10 gauge wire and taped it to it, and that way I could run it right up through there, pull it out. Okay, so I zip tied with the factory zip tie my wire right here, run it under this member, down in behind here. Here is the Y part of it, right there. I run it down, zip tied it here. This is my connector that goes to the front. And then right here, I went ahead and used the Garmin fuse link. I went ahead and used the splice they supplied. It is a shrink style splice. So now we have our fuse, and I connected it to the accessory part, positive up top, ground on the bottom, just like I did my Garmin Zumo XT2. So here's my Zumo XT2 fuse, and here is my Zumo R1 fuse right here. And I got them both right here, nice and easy, to where I can get a hold of them if I need to check and the fuse or change it in a later date. And I just put my fuse box cover back into place. And now we are good to wire the front part. Okay, so I got my indicators mounted right here on the mirrors on both sides. I run the wire down. I found a couple little stick-on hooks that I could actually put right there to hold the wire. Run the wire right around here. For now, if I have to take the bike apart to change the air filter or something, then I'll actually run these wires under there where they should be. But I got them run across. I brought them down under here with that piece of wire, the same piece of wire I fished down through here, and brought the wire out here. Now, I can tell you, it was difficult. It took me quite a while to get it through there, so it's not easy at all. If you want something easy, that's not. And then, so we got to plug this together right here, and we should be pretty much set up. Okay, so we take our wires right here, which is actually looks like micro USB. We're going to plug these two together, make sure we got them lined up right, and then thread this together like so. Tighten it good and snug. And I'm actually going to roll my wires up, zip tie them, and put them right down in here where I have the other wires. There's plenty of room right down in here, so that'd be a good location for it. Okay, so as you can see, I got my wires zip tied, stuck right down in there with the rest of my wires, all nice and clean. I like to keep all my wiring nice and clean. I don't want to hit anything that's going to cut into the wire and damage it and cause a short or any kind of problem. But we are connected to the fuse box, positive and negative. We have our inline fuse. We are ready to go. Okay, so now that we got everything set up, let's just go ahead and pair it to the phone first. So you need to download the Zumo radar app. After you download it, click on it. It's going to tell us what to do. It tells us to push this button over here to pair it until the status LED turns blue, blinking. Okay, now it is blinking blue. Now we should be pairing. Now we need to look at this and make sure it shows the same thing, which is showing yellow here, blue here. So we're yellow here, we're blue here, yes. Both red, we're red here, we're red here. We are yellow here, not over there. Now we click done, done. Product registration, so we need to go through and register, put in our email and do that. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Click on our settings here. Zumo, we're connected. So we go down here to all the stuff here. We can set the settings like the rear lights, turn them on or off. We need to check for a firmware version update right here. It tells us everything we can turn on: blind spot alerts, audio alerts, and then rear alert settings, rear lights on, audio alerts on. Let's turn on demo mode. Yes. Now we go back out of here. Now we can see a car approaching on the demo mode, which means these are going to flash red, and they did. It beeps. It's doing exactly, that is doing exactly what it is showing here. There's going to be one on each side, so both lights are going to turn amber. Now we got one coming up behind, it's red. And the rear, because it's on, is doing the same thing. You can see it's somebody on the left, somebody coming up behind, somebody on the right. And it's doing just what it shows on the screen. Okay, we're ready to try this out on the road. So basically we're showing that you can use your app. As far as the app, you can have the app off. You don't even have to use the app. You don't need your phone at all, because we have this connected, then it's automatically going to work anyway. All we have to do is look at the lights and it's going to tell us what it's doing. You can see I'm still going in demo mode, but when I'm riding, that's the light's going to light up. Even if I'm not using the phone, that's what you're going to see. Okay, so as far as these lights here on the rear, the ambers and the red, they may or may not be legal in your state or where you're at, but you can actually disable those, turn them off. You don't really need these. They're not going to benefit you. I mean, they might alert the traffic, but they're probably not going to pay attention to that anyway, because you have brake lights, tail lights, all that. You know, they're not going to pay attention to that. Okay, so now as far as pairing this to the Garmin Zumo XT2, go ahead and do a firmware update if you have one by clicking here, clicking on updates. It will check for updates. If you need to, install all, which I already did mine, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so the next thing after you do the firmware update is click on the apps icon right here. Click on Zumo R1 radar. It's going to tell us what to do. Click connect now. It's going to tell us make sure the motorcycle is powered on. Hold the power button on the motorcycle radar unit until the light blinks blue. Same thing we did on the phone. So hold this down. Our light is blinking blue. Come back over here. Zumo R1 radar found. Yes. Follow the on-screen prompts now to finish. Okay, so now we have the R1 radar on. Save. Now it's going to do the same thing the phone did. Check and make sure that it's doing the same thing it shows on the screen, which it is. Yes. All red. Yes. Amber on the right. Yes. Amber and red on the rear, blue on the right. Okay, done. Okay, so now we are ready to go. So in here we can click on the Zumo radar to go into the settings. So in here it shows you your icons, what they'll look like depending on what it's doing. This is where we can turn on all of our alerts. Disconnect firmware, which I already did the firmware update on the phone. And we're ready to try it out. Close that. So now when you're on your main screen, you have this little radar icon here. When you click it, it's going to bring your radar up on this side of your screen. So we need to take this thing out on the road, try this out, and try it out on the phone. Okay, so here we go down the road, coming up with some cars. There's one behind me, I can actually see it on here. So it is showing that there's two cars behind me, which there is. It's showing right there on the map. There's two cars behind me and it's showing them right here. It does not show the oncoming traffic, which is good. We don't want it showing that. So if we're not wanting to use the map necessarily and we want the radar full screen, we can just tap on it. It brings the radar up to full screen so we can see it a lot better. So we slow down here. It should show it come back up on me. It backed off a little bit, but I'm going slow here. There it comes back up on me. Two cars, which there is two cars. And the light is red, showing that it's close to me. The light did turn red on both sides, so that works perfectly. And then of course when we get away from the car, I sped up, it goes off of the radar. It's too far back. Now I'll slow down up here, and when it catches back up, it's going to come back up here on the radar. Okay, so now it shows it coming back up. I slowed down, it's catching up to me, and there's the car right there. Okay, so I'm going to get over into the right lane so this car behind me can pass me, and we'll make sure this should come on yellow over here. Here comes the car. And yes, it turns yellow. The car turns yellow on here. There's another one right here coming up, so it should turn yellow again. Yes, it turned yellow, and the car turned yellow on here. Turns yellow. Working good. So let me get over into the left lane so a car will come up behind me. So that car shows it moving over into my lane, which I'm moved into its lane. Let's slow down here. He's not going to get too close. The car is being courteous. There's one on the right. The light turned yellow over there, but I missed it on the camera. It's hard to show the camera on that one there. There it shows yellow. The car's yellow here. I mean, this thing is absolutely awesome. I really, really like this. Even without the Garmin Zumo or the phone, you know, you can still use it, and it works super. Without it, you can just see the lights on there. Click the X, it'll go back to here. We can see our map, and it will do the same thing. We're slowing down here to a stop, so our lights are going to turn red. He's going to the left of me instead of behind me. There, he showed him on the left there but I sped up, so just about missed him. I thought he was going to come up behind me, but he went to the left of me and to turn. So there's a couple on the right. Over here, they're going to flash yellow. Car turned yellow. Check that out. That is so good. I can't believe actually how good this thing works. One on the left, and this is making the noise too. It's beeping, and it's beeping through my helmet with it connected, but it's showing that there was a car coming up on my left. So far, it's flawless. Look at all them cars. It shows one on both sides, two there, and that's exactly what there is. Right behind me, and there's one coming up on my left. So the thing is showing exactly what I'm seeing in real time here. One coming up on the left, right there. Super. Let's try it on the phone. Okay, so now we're connected. Look at the cars on here. It's showing just what I'm seeing. Car coming up on the left, past me. My light is yellow. It's yellow. This thing works great. So the cool part is you can use it with your phone, you can use it with the Garmin Zumo XT2, or you can use it standalone by itself. Okay, so now we have the phone put up. Let's use it without the Garmin Zumo XT2. Just by itself, it shows one on the left. The light is yellow. There is one coming up, and I don't even see it. There it is. Now I see it out of the corner of my eye. I did not see that, so it was in my blind spot. And I would have probably got over to the left, but usually I would look back, of course, not take that chance. But if you wasn't paying attention, you could get over into somebody, but that actually worked great. Let's slow down, let another car come up. There it goes, yellow. Here comes the other car right there. Once it gets up to this far where I can actually see it, of course, then it will turn. It don't need to be, when I can see it right here, it don't need to be yellow on there indicating there's a car there. So, I mean, that's just flawless. So nobody is getting close enough to me on the rear. There's one coming up on my left there. I didn't see that one either. And there it goes. So this is a game changer, guys, to have this on your motorcycle. And it's a little bit difficulty installing. I mean, the best way is to have a professional do it if you're not a hands-on person or mechanically inclined. But if you are mechanically inclined, you can do this yourself. So, super simple. I absolutely love this thing. It's great. Let's go ahead and turn the Garmin Zumo XT2 back on. So, as I was going to say, if you're not navigating, you can put it on full screen while you're in heavy traffic. Okay, so there's one coming up on my left. I can see it on the thing here. It's coming up behind me. Yellow light turns on. Slow down a little bit so it'll pass me. Perfect. But to me, guys, this is a game changer. Even forget that you have a Garmin Zumo XT2. Just getting the Garmin Zumo R1 radar is definitely a thumbs up for me. I absolutely love this. This thing is going to be nice when we take big trips and get into heavy traffic, especially or on the 4-lane highways. It's really going to be nice. Got one coming up on my right. Turned yellow over here. There it goes. Let's see how long it takes till it goes off. Right there it goes off, which is perfect because that's where you can actually see the car is actually going past you. Okay guys, so what do I think of the Garmin Zumo R1 radar? I like it. I think this is a great addition to your motorcycle. And as I said, you can just get the standalone unit, connect it. You can connect it to your Garmin Zumo XT2, or you can connect it to your phone, be it iPhone or whether it's a Android, either one. So with that, all the options you have for that thing, it's really a good deal. I like it where I mounted it because I can see them better out of my eyes, being right here on the mirrors of the way I got them. And even though my phone is in the way of you guys probably with the camera, it's perfect for me to see both of them right there, even with the phone on here. So super cool. So it's definitely a thumbs up for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. I will definitely post a link where you can check one of these out. The Garmin Zumo R1 radar. Click the thumbs up, subscribe down below, and click that bell icon. You'll be notified when I put out some more videos. We'll catch you all in the next adventure. God bless. Right on.